IVM.
All right, welcome to Football Shootball. This is episode, I don't know what episode this is because we were lied about what episode it was the last time. I'm guessing if my memory serves right, this is episode 18 that we are recording right now. And we've got Karthik Iyer who was with us last week. And we have the missing person, Shivram Parameshwaran, who has been shifting houses. Firstly, hi. Hello, Shivram. Hello.
Hi, Gaurav. Thank you for having me.
A very, very happy new year to you.
Very happy New Year to you as well, and all our listeners around the world.
Ooh, I got a name for the podcast.
Okay.
Which is?
Happy New Year.
Yeah. My AC also switched on at the exact moment. I think it's a sign from above.
Yeah, it's
I
right?
couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't have thought of a name. Nobody could have thought of that name. I mean,
Golmaal we could have gone with. We could have gone with Golmaal, but okay, let's Happy New Year makes more sense.
yeah, you should be paid for stuff like this. I mean, it's just off the. But anyway, Shivram, I have a question for you. You've shifted houses recently. You used to stay in an area.
And relocated.
Where
You don't shift.
you were your neighbors with Ranveer Singh and the others, and now you are neighbors with like ad media executives from BTL agencies. How does that feel, man?
No, I think I saw Rahul Mahajan in my society. So I don't know how I'm feeling. But yeah, I think it's good to be back in Bombay. The humidity hits me in the face every morning when I open the window. Then I shut it and I switch on the AC. But otherwise, lovely, lovely city. I can't get enough. I mean, unless there's a lockdown soon, then I would have gotten my enough. But yeah, good to be back.
Good to know that the sun hits you in the eye in the morning. How can you even sleep after all those results? Oh, sorry, I'm talking to myself after last night's match. Iyer, hello.
I didn't even say any of that, and you just turned it around and just made it whatever you want.
I just better I do it, right? You can't fire me, I resign.
Oh,
That's the
nice.
mission I'm gonna go ahead with. Iyer, since you've baptized this episode, how you been, man?
I'm all right. I saw a little bit of the football over the weekend. It was nice. If we had the best game of the season last week, we had two of the best games of the season this week, I must say.
Not
Like,
last night,
I-
right? You're not referring to the game last night.
No, not last night. Arsenal versus City and then followed by Chelsea-Liverpool.
Yeah, Arsenal vs City was by far the best game.
So let's talk about that first. I was going to talk about the Chelsea-Liverpool game first, but let's talk about the Arsenal City game first. But let's take a break first because this is a new year and we'll hope new advertisers come and sign up and pay us a shitload of money. So here we come after the break.
$100. That's all it takes to begin your journey with Bitcoin and Ethereum. No, really. With CoinSwitch, you can start investing in over 100 cryptocurrencies with just 100 rupees. On top of that, there are zero charges for deposits and withdrawals, so you can trade, buy, sell, however and whenever you want. All of this, plus their extremely intuitive interface, makes CoinSwitch the perfect app for beginners in the crypto space. But don't take my word for it. Just download CoinSwitch for free and try it out for yourself. If you'd like more information on cryptocurrencies, tune into a show about crypto with me, Rohan Joshi, my new adventure on IVM podcasts. CoinSwitch, kuch to badlega.
Shivram,
Yes.
since this episode has already been named Happy New Year, rightfully so by Iyer, I had a better name or another name. Let me just say it was called Ehsas, right? Which is like the
Ehsas.
feeling, which is the
Chalana.
feeling, not the not that. Because I read a nice quote by this journalist called Joe Butterfield. How English can you be? He said,
Yeah.
nothing compares to the feeling of scoring an undeserved last-minute winner. Right? Of course, he's referring to what Rodri calls football.
Yeah.
And
Why are you
just said it was
picking
the
on
best-
people, man? Like, because of their
I
accent?
am
It's terrible.
not.
For someone who's
No,
coming from India, it's terrible.
It's a lovely accent, man. And that's how it's called.
And he surprised the one who just called it episode. Huh?
Yeah, I did
No,
not
that's
say.
what-
I thought we have a new sponsor and happy fish
We
like
should
that, so
have,
everything is now
we-
happy. So
We should have
Anyway.
that, right? So more on that later. What
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
think about a game? I'll tell you what I felt. I felt Cesc Fabregas has no idea of how football is and what football is. He has, right?
Oh, lovely jokes. I always recommend that you save your jokes for the podcast, and today you brought them. Very nice.
Right.
I appreciate. I applaud.
If he knew football a little better, he wouldn't have been sitting at home and tweeting at this hour, right? But I mean, I definitely think what he said was wrong. But let's talk about what you think about it. Was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty?
See, it can't be either or. Either both are penalties or both are not penalties. Simple. It's not really confusing. But on-field referee chose otherwise. They didn't even, review it again with VAR, which they can. I mean, they have the ability to do it. They didn't. So that tells you something. And the fact that I think Arsenal controlled most of the game, which is fantastic. It was unexpected. I know Arsenal's on a run, but that game was just spectacular. Given they've dropped who was once their talismanic player, Lacazette has stepped up to be that leader. The average age is some 24 years. Odegaard, Partey, they played out their skin that day. I can't talk enough about Ramsdale, but overall fantastic performance, and to give the champions or champions-elect a run for their money. Really, really well done. And yes, at the end of the day, it's unfair. You can pinpoint when this happened and then that happened and Gabriel lost his mind in the middle. Yes, that all happened. But the fact that they still continue to give them a fight, even with 10 men. The old Arsenal that everyone knew would have just folded over and it could have been 6-1, 7-1 right after. But it wasn't. And it had to be that, last minute goal by Rodri that eventually saw them through. Otherwise, it's spectacular. Lots of positives from that game. I think Spurs should be worried because Arsenal play them soon.
Okay. So here's my question to you. One game Arteta is not on the sideline. Arsenal play so well.
Arsenal has played well much before also. Sapre, I don't know if you can see the table. It's at a higher floor than where you are right now.
I agree. But it like this match would be spoken about, right? Even at the end. Not the one against the other teams.
तुम्हारा पास का चश्मा है, दूर का चश्मा है. So दूर तो Arsenal है, so नहीं दिखेगा.
I think the referees were right. I think it was a penalty that it wasn't a penalty on Odegaard, clearly.
But it was a penalty on Silva.
Absolutely. And also it was a red card.
Red card I don't care about. The penalty on Silva, if you're saying was a penalty, then तुम्हें दूर का भी चश्मा चाहिए और पास का भी चश्मा चाहिए. Both chashmas you need new set of eyes completely and a footballing brain to go with it.
No. I trust the judgment of the officials more than ex-players who are sitting at home and eating popcorn. Right. Do you have any comments to make on that? Yeah, it was very good. It was an excellent game, to be honest. In the first half of the first half, Arsenal played very well. To be honest, I was regretting not having a couple of Arsenal players looking at the first 20 minutes of that match. I think City could even make a few passes the way City usually play. And they were playing almost full strength, if you can say that. There was KDB and
They were pretty much. Yeah. Everyone was there, except I think Foden and Grealish, who are out partying anyway. So, how was that?
It's the new year, yeah. What are they supposed to do? Phil Foden at his in his peak element. Yeah, it was fun. I'm not fussed about the penalty. Goalkeepers always, it was Edison on Odegaard, right? The goalkeepers always are protected unnecessarily way too much, whether the tackle is on them or whether they're making some horrific challenges. Gabriel's red card was stupid, absolutely stupid. But Arsenal, they can be unlucky, right? Remember Nathan Ake and Sapre, you've cursed him a lot. He made that spectacular goal line clearance, and then it was immediately followed by Martinelli missing pretty much an open goal. Maybe he should have...
Because the referee was in the way. You forgot about that. When was the last time you saw a referee in the penalty box? Why does the referee need to be in the penalty box? Remind me.
Just to see from close proximity if there's another tackle coming through.
Okay. You watch any game, referees rarely stray into the penalty box. This time he was in front of Martinelli. I don't know for what reason.
It was such an exciting match. You wanted to watch it up close, man.
Then you should become Maguire and play the United team if you want to watch it so closely.
I think what it suggests is that probably Arsenal and Tottenham are favourites for fourth at this moment in time. And City are champions.
I thought Sapre already said that it was United's championship to lose. What happened to that?
It was when they're losing. So,
but games in hand are also there. No? How many games do you have? So 30 games in hand you have. How many?
39 games in hand of a 38-game season. out of which we're not talking about United this time. I'm conceding to what Shivram said last year, which is we'll only talk about the top 4 teams. So
Lovely.
Till 2027, I am not going to talk about United at all. Right? Let's put it out there very clearly. But good game, I think. Unfortunately, at least Arsenal deserved a point out of this. Honestly, they deserved 3, but at least they deserved 1. But that's how football is, right? The other interesting game, or the most interesting game, let us put it that way, the Chelsea-Liverpool. By the way, the reports have just come out of England as I am talking to you. My sources are telling me.
Italy में अभी सुबह ही हुई है बस.
The pool Arsenal match may not happen because of COVID.
What,
too
Pool
many
scared?
cases in the... Yes.
Salah's also
that-
left for AFCON. So, I mean, that
But
could be one more
For
reason.
1 second, this is not Premier League. This is some
Oh, this is FA Cup semi-final.
no,
Not
La
FA
League
Cup,
Cup.
no.
Yeah.
Carabao Cup.
Sure, okay, whatever. I mean, I don't. I'm only considering top 4 in the league. That's all I care about. Don't talk about
But
these average games.
Arsenal versus City. Arsenal are playing who? Sorry, not City. Arsenal are playing
Pool. But no, Pool Chelsea. We'll talk about Pool Chelsea. Lovely first half. I didn't see the second half, to be honest.
So you can't describe it. And it's just a lovely game, nah? Then why do you have to say all that? Karthik hasn't watched games in this is the first weekend he's watched one game.
No. Ayer's been watching games, dude. Last week he watched all the games. And then he went on Hotstar to give them views also.
For highlights.
But you said it's the most exciting game, which it was. It could have been 3-3, 4-4 probably in the first half. A lot of good chances for both the teams. At least half chances as well. But one of them at least had to win.
I mean,
think
City
it was-
won this match. Let's be honest. City won 2 matches this weekend. They won the Arsenal game somehow. And they won this match because these two sides just could manage a point each. 10 points, man. It's not happening. It's done. Yeah, now Liverpool already Mane has already put up photo from the flight and all saying Tata bye-bye along with Mendy. So both Liverpool and Chelsea players are leaving now for the AFCON, the African Cup of Nations.
Wow, so
yeah.
both teams have no strikers, yeah? Shit. One posting image is other.
I mean,
But
Lukaku.
what was that? I never like to criticize Lukaku, but what was that interview? What was he thinking? Who would have liked to listen to that interview?
No, I think firstly, the interview was recorded a while ago.
But 3 weeks.
just
3
came
weeks is
up.
not.
Yeah,
It's
but
not a lot.
Look at the results in the 3 weeks for Chelsea right now. All of that put together with a match against Pool and this coming out very close to the transfer window, etc. Just it makes more meaning, right, for publications to do that. But it was a terrible interview. I think he's come out and apologized. Not apologized, but he said I shouldn't have. He said I shouldn't have said this. In retrospect, I believe the timing wasn't right. But his feelings for Inter. But he was very honest about it. I don't know why are people making such a fuss
अरे
about it. He was
honesty
very
क्या
honest.
क्या करना है 6 महीना हुआ है चेल्सी आया है खेलना पहले अच्छे से फिर ये honesty दिखाना. He's not scoring. He's not done anything with his time at Chelsea. Right? He's not even helping the Chelsea cause.
And Inter
What's
can't
the
take him
point?
back. They don't have money. It's not like they wanted to sell him. They got a lot of money, so they had to sell him. I honestly, this doesn't work for himself currently. It doesn't even work for future employment if that's what he's looking for.
Petulance is not appreciated at any point in time.
Yeah, so smartly he said that I am definitely not leaving Chelsea in the next 2 transfer windows. To your point, Ayer, because it's going to be very difficult for a club to take him right now. The kind of wages. Plus, he wants to go back to Inter.
Who will take him at this point? What is the form that they'll depend on? He's not doing anything.
Spurs will take him. They let
yeah,
him go.
Spurs, I mean, they don't want to do anything, so that makes sense. He then fits right into their plan.
They played very well for a 0-0 draw against Watford, by the way. They were very lucky.
Oh my God. What? I don't know why I watched the games only, man.
It wasn't 0-0, right? They did score late.
1-0.
1-0. Yeah.
Davidson Sanchez scored.
The
96th minute goal. Crazy. Yeah.
And imagine having to watch that long a game with first play for them to score in the 96th. It doesn't count only. All of this is rubbish.
So, Ayer made a point saying VAR generally favors the goalkeepers, either when they tackle or tackle comes in them. Lloris made a horrendous tackle. VAR didn't even bother to check. Forget the referee going to. They didn't even. It was a clear
battery low tha. We'll do it after the game, like how they did with Bruno.
They were so bored. I don't think anybody was even watching.
अरे ये सब बहुत boring. I don't want to talk about Spurs. United के बारे में बात करते हैं ना. कुछ interesting बताओ ना Sapre. Tell us how you feel. ये Spurs वर्ष सब होता रहेगा. मतलब Watford versus Spurs 96 minutes. I've never said Davidson Sanchez out loud in my life. I don't know why I just said it. Can you tell me what the hell is happening? There was this lovely quote. I don't know if it's true, false, whatever. There are old coach, old players, old everything, and Old Trafford. I mean, I'm also recycling one of my previous jokes. It's really hard to come to Old Trafford and beat Wolves. I love that joke. I can just keep changing teams. I've used it some 4 times this year only. There was Aston Villa before. I think there was one more also before that. What is happening, Sapre? You bought a very romantic homecoming that happened because of your transfer news with Ronaldo coming back. Apparently one of the most liked Instagram posts in the world by a club. So clearly engagement is not good enough for results. I mean, anyone who likes Aubameyang knows that. What does it mean now that Ronaldo's, I think yesterday if you watched the game, I did unfortunately, because I own him in FPL, he looked like the only person interested at any point in time. And other than De Gea, who screamed at Ronaldo once because Ronaldo hit it back at him and gave it to Jimenez. Jimenez thought Jimenez is Mexican, but he thought he's also, everyone's speaking Portuguese anyway. So he gave it back. So they're all fighting with each other in Portuguese. And then eventually the team with the more Portuguese players won.
Correct.
So should also just gang up on De Gea, right? Like just your Spanish fellow.
Van de Beek will still be on the bench at that rate.
So this is now, it's what, he plays 4-2-2-2-2. Now next match it's going to be 1-2-2-2-2. Like he'll just...
How many 2-2-2-2 are there?
And still he won't find a way to play Bruno Fernandes in that level.
You know what's the beautiful part about this? Suddenly Ole will seem like a lot better. That's all relative, right?
No. So apparently there have been some fans who like tweeted apology to Ole.
You tagged them and all. Sorry, sir. That photo is that meme.
Yeah.
Sorry,
there was some article somewhere that that was headlined. Ralph Rangnick's honeymoon period is over, and I was like, this is what a honeymoon is. I don't know what the actual like living together is going to be then. If that is what your honeymoon is.
Manager, where is new manager Mounds? What happened to that?
But my thing is, how can there be a honeymoon period for a contract that's less than a year? It's not a honeymoon, right? Even it's got nothing to lose wherever he finishes.
हर बात के लिए excuse है तुम्हारे पास. एक तो टीम घटिया खेल रही है. ऊपर से तुम contract के बारे में बात कर रहे हो.
See, my problem is that you didn't listen to the previous episode and the episode before that and the one before that and the one before that as well. Go back to the episode where we spoke about Ronaldo coming to United and said it's a shit transfer. He should not come to United. He's a liability.
That much track back Ronaldo also doesn't do. Okay, so I'm not going there. For sure.
In the Rangnick system, somebody has to do it.
Ronaldo is the 90s Indian cricketer at point. Okay, the ball passes him, he points. Same. Ronaldo also does exactly that. Sometimes he'll get the ball, he'll score, and then he'll pretend like, oh, I didn't know it was offside. He was 1 mile offside before they took the kick. Okay, he thought he's some maestro. He jumped back and then he'll jump again. And then
he was honest. He said, no. He said, I don't know, which is honesty from Ronaldo, right?
So Abhi said, no, I don't know. That is
but honestly, where was he standing? What did he think? Like people will just come and cross him for no reason whatsoever. Like, it was just weird. Terrible
team, terrible result.
Supporters.
Terrible supporters, barring one.
Yeah,
I mean, what to expect? There's nothing to expect from this United team. These are the same kind of results that we'll keep having.
Don't you have Champions League, Atletico Madrid?
How boring is that match going to be?
So basically what we have said in these 25 minutes is City are champions. Liverpool and Chelsea are just going to play out the season now. Arsenal and Tottenham for 4th. United are useless. Why do we need to come back next week or the week after until Champions League begins is my question.
We don't. I completely agree. I think let's just talk about FPL and get this over with.
I don't even know we should talk about FPL right now.
Let's not talk about anything. Let's just minus the episode. No, both of us took minuses, so it's fine. Let's actually skip FPL this time because the FPL game week is not over yet, so it doesn't make sense. Plus, the international break is there, yeah? The second leg of games, because it's double game week for a couple of games, it's after 8 days. So it doesn't make sense for us to talk about it anyway. I mean,
but give the code anyway.
Okay, the code.
One story, but last week you weren't here, right? So we started talking about FPL and then we realized we need to give the code. And we basically asked anyone listening to go and listen to previous episodes and figure out the code because neither of us were able to get it. We looked through WhatsApp Shivram for 5 minutes. There was dead air on the podcast. I hope it was edited out.
I hope that wasn't the entire episode. Okay, so the elusive fantasy code for the Football Shootball Mini League is 3HDRUY. That's 3HDRUY. Go to fantasy.premierleague.com. Put that code in. You can come join us. Millions of players on there. I mean, in the fantasy league. But in the Football Shootball League, there are slightly couple of zeros less. But yes, still some zeros there, like me and Sapre. We talk about the best of the best and the rest of us. We don't have any tips to give out because the games aren't still scheduled. I think game week 22 might be a double game week, but more on that next week. So let's not talk about that anymore.
And there's one thing, last thing before we wrap up. One wish for the football year 2022 from the both of y'all.
Oh, we have to do that.
Just one. I'll go first. Okay, I want
yours.
Haaland and Mbappe to play in the same team together.
They will be at Madrid. Why is that a wish?
Hopefully. Because now suddenly Barcelona are like, we're going to bid for every big player there is. Did you hear that?
What? When? How? With what?
How dare you call Morata a big player?
They got Varane. They're getting Morata in the summer. They're like, we also want Haaland. What is happening?
But Haaland has expressed his interest to go to Madrid.
Right. Anyway, that's my wish for them to play in the same club side.
But if like that will be insane. That will literally be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles running against each other. That will be mental. I didn't know we had to come prepared with a wish. Sapre.
No, I mean, you can go with the usual. I hope India qualifies for a World Cup or something like that weekend.
This year I'm going to be more pragmatic as my resolution.
This year I'm going to focus on short-term goals, which is like 1 week goals. So I don't have
one goal. One goal.
That's Ralph Ragnick's resolution. I want to have only one goal.
One goal.
Hey, apparently United has won only one game in September, October, November, December. So you have one and goal in the same resolution. Lovely.
So it's
a monthly target that's achieved.
It's all about perspective. That's all I'll say. No, I have no goals for the year. I've given up on everything, just like my club has.
Wow, what a morose.
It is so disappointing to start. But being disappointed week after week, twice a week sometimes, it's terrible, man. I mean, now I feel...
United and double game week,
no, that 8-day gap was a boon, now I feel. United did not play. So, terrible. I don't have any resolutions. No
footballing resolution.
No football. I just hope that the Miss Universe title continues to be comes to India every year.
ये तो बस ट्विटर के पढ़ जोक पढ़ रहे हो तुम हैं?
नहीं जोक ट्विटर पर नहीं पढ़ मैं बहुत उदास हूँ. So that's that. Hey, but now that we're closing, I just one quick question for anyone can answer. Actually, we spoke about Morata. Like Footy Humor put out a lovely tweet saying that we'll have made, if he goes to Barcelona, he will have made about 6 transfers since 2014, rolling 270 million euros. He scored never scored more than 15 league goals, and the only possible reason to explain these transfer fees is that he's being used for money laundering. Now, I absolutely think this is true. There's no doubt about it. But that's
insane. He's like the Breaking Bad of football, except the player is bad. So, like, oh my God, that is insane.
Do you know? Let's remove Barcelona. It's 5 clubs since 2014 that Morata has played.
Yeah, you have to have money to launder. You're right.
Do you know the 5 clubs that he's played for?
Juventus, Atletico, Chelsea.
Liverpool.
What?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of someone else. Sorry.
Was it Juve twice?
Atletico Madrid.
It was Juve twice.
So then
Real
Atletico.
Oh. Yes. He went back to Real Madrid. Yes, he did go back to Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. Why was I saying Liverpool? I meant Real Madrid. Sorry.
Fine. Good job.
I also have a joke for Lukaku. Again, off Twitter. Lukaku now has more clubs than Tiger Woods.
That is true.
And he's looking for one more. The shameless guy. He's not even happy.
No, he's kissed every club match apparently saying, I will never leave. He's the Nicholas Anelka of this millennium. Yeah. But Nicholas Anelka was already in this millennium. So maybe this decade. Karthik has a fascination for all these sulks. Like he was selling Lukaku like every club actually. He was the biggest fan. He said, first touches don't matter. He's not even touching it the first time. He's not coming.
He's giving interviews over there. This is very disappointing. I'm very upset with Romelu. If he's listening, Big Rom.
Romelu. Like what is this Farhan? Romelu?
Okay, I can get Romelu, fine, Lukaku, we should say. Farhan, Torres, if you keep saying it could be anyone.
If you keep saying Farhan, it sounds like Akhtar. So, I mean, so you have to combine Farhan Torres.
Yeah, fine, fair enough. Okay,
good. So thank you for those kind words for Romelu Lukaku.
I love that only Karthik gave a resolution. None of us have a resolution. So this is one of those games where you start with, it's what is that? Kill, marry, date. And then you get the first person to answer and then you end the game. Kisi aur ko batana nahi hai. This is one of those. Okay, lovely as always catching up with you guys.
As always, Happy New Year to the two of you, to everybody who's
listening. Which
is again, I mean, two of you who are listening, so which is great. Be safe, mask up, get triple vaccinated if you can very soon. We will see you in May after the season is over, I guess.
I thought you were going to say 2023. I honestly thought.
That's too soon for Ralph Ragnick's contract. So until time.
Awesome, guys. See you.
So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun on Twitter and Instagram. That's Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle.
If you want to reach out to me, I am Sapre on Twitter and Sapre on Instagram.
You can reach out to me at iRant, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Shootball. Recognize.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik speaks with Shreya Sundaresan, co-founder of data-led climate organization Transition Zero. They discuss using data science and financial modeling to fight climate change. It's tough to be a comedian or satirist in India today, but Akash Banerjee is thriving. Check out this year-ender episode of The Wire Talks where he joins Siddharth to sum up 2021. This week on Probation Se Promotion Tak, Abhinav talks about some basic tips to negotiate a good salary. On The Longest Constitution, Priya takes us through the issue of entitlement and reservations at the workplace, especially when it comes to caste hierarchies and sexual harassment. On the Habit Coach podcast, Ashwin is joined by Sonali Sabharwal. She's a macrobiotic nutritionist and they discuss how Vipassana meditation can help us get over stress and deal with other mental health issues. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do tell a friend. The word of mouth absolutely is essential to us. Don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you've been listening to. And also, I'd like to ask everybody to check us out on YouTube. We have a number of channels going. You can find all of them on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Cred, Bank of Baroda, CoinSwitch, Kuber, and Intel. Thank you so much for making this possible.
If you love cricket, listen up. The Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast is here for you. Hosted by DJ, Varun, and me, Ashwin, we bring a fun, fresh fan's point of view to talking all things cricket. Sometimes it's just the three of us, sometimes we have guests, including current and former international cricketers. For new episodes every week, check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast on the IVM app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.